Yeah, should I take off my mask?
Oh yeah, so you can take that off.
So,
So can you introduce yourself and tell us about your journey as a design student?
yeah, of course. So my name is Jenna Mitarotonda. I'm a senior and my major is fashion design. So my journey is kind of crazy. I didn't originally want to go into the design field. I actually had no idea what I wanted to do. But in high school, they offered these fashion classes, just like basic sewing and like basic drawing, and I was like, you know what, I really want to be in a creative field. So I decided to take those classes and I ended up falling in love with them. I really love to like make my own clothes and like express myself through my designs. And then that Christmas, my parents had bought me a sewing machine, my first sewing machine. And ever since then, I kind of just started to make my own patterns without knowing anything and try to make my own clothes. I was actually inspired by my mom because my mom wanted to become a professional buyer when she was going through college. She wanted to be a buyer, and she didn't end up going to school for fashion because her parents wouldn't let her. They thought it was kind of a waste of time type of thing. So she'd always tell me about her dreams and how she wasn't able to follow them. So she like lives kind of vicariously through me. So it actually means a lot to me being a designer, because not only do these designs mean a lot to me, but they mean a lot to my mom. I think the biggest challenge actually for me was finding my true identity as a designer, because I always used to design like the most randomest things. There was no like repetitive like connection between them. Between the end of junior year and the beginning of senior year, I really was able to find my true design identity, because you have so much leg room when you're a senior to kind of design what you want and how you see things. And that was a really big struggle for me. So my inspiration it dates back to traditional Scottish attire and how they used a lot of different plaids, not only as traditional wear, but to signify different clans within Scotland, and they still do it today. There's like a whole list of all the different tartans, as they're called, that signify each of the clans. And when I read about this, I thought it was so interesting, because to me, you know, we see plaid, everyone wears plaid, like it's so universal and like it's so mainstream, but it wasn't always that way. So I kind of took that concept and I wanted to modernize like the idea of like traditional Scottish clothing, and also the idea of creating my own plaids and what plaid means to me. The best piece of advice I can give to anyone entering the design department is to have a great work ethic. Now, saying that it's easier said than done, but you really have to want it to have the best outcome, and that's something I especially learned. You have to put in the time and the effort, otherwise you will never get the outcome that you want. And even if that means 8 to 10 hours a day, that's what it is. But honestly, that's just the reality of it all, because even after you graduate, you're going to be doing the same thing. So you really have to want it, and you really have to want to work for it.
So is there anything final that you want to add about maybe your garments, your collection, your journey, anything else?
No, I think that's it.
No? Alright, so this will be